Kobe studied everything Mike did, structured his game, mirrored it. And then I look at everything that Kobe took everything Mike had and added a little more. That's why I have Kobe edging Mike.
Welcome to another episode of Thanalysis show with your one and only Thanasis Antetokounmpo and Tony C.
What up?
Today, man. Yeah, I'm trying to still lock in and kind of do the podcast and kind of do this as well. But you guys have been amazing. Thank you guys for your support. Thank you guys so much. Today we have a special guest that's all about music, all about culture, all about rap and American culture. And he's gonna teach me what things I didn't need to know, and I want to know actually. But before we go to that, remember, it's always Thanalysis presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call.
That's all.
Want to thank Prison White Company for being one of our new sponsors. Thank you guys so much. Want to thank Potawatomi Casinos and Hotels. If you ever come to Milwaukee, that's where you want to stay. If you haven't stayed there already, you should try to stay there. They have great entertainment, great food, and you might win some money. You never know. And last but not least, I'm loving it. McDonald's in the building. Thank you so much. Back to the schedule. And without further ado, I got my man,
Yo, this is very good. I'm very excited to be here, man. I'm excited. Let me get one for my man Tony. This is a good vibes.
Like, we can't do a show, or we're told, we do this anyways, we're told we can't do a show where you're like, I like Kobe and I like LeBron.
No, you gotta be
absolutely not. You gotta pick
which
one.
Is okay.
I want to talk sports with you. I have to.
Okay.
Because we gotta go viral.
But
I go viral because I am a voice of a generation that has not been spoken for in a very long time. So it's like, wow, someone's saying it. Because let me say this, and this goes for basketball and rap, and I'm gonna tell you why. In the 90s, black media personalities and journalists and writers and all these representations got a lot of power in the 90s. So a lot of people that stepped into power in hip hop and a lot of black speakers and voices stepped into power in sports in the 90s. So what happens is that they talk about their GOATs repeatedly, which is cool. So that's why you go on and then all of the older people are like, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan is the greatest thing ever to walk the earth. He's the greatest man, human. Have you ever seen a bald head better than Michael Jordan? He's the greatest thing in the world, right? I am from a different generation. My GOAT is Kobe Bryant. Now, LeBron James is, in my opinion, is going to pass Kobe, but Kobe is where it starts. That's where it starts for me, how I look at it. Now you go, how could Kobe be without Mike? And I go, Kobe studied everything Mike did, structured his game, mirrored it. And then I look at everything that Kobe took everything Mike had and added a little more. That's why I have Kobe edging Mike. But that's just my perspective.
But you can still do that while acknowledging and showing respect to that Mike was great. And that's the thing. When these debates pop off, that's the thing. Everyone wants to be like, if you're not the best, you're the worst. Yeah.
If you're number two,
not
you're
the
a bum.
case
It's like
whatsoever.
But I have Kobe edging Mike. Bro, I wish that you could put me on lie detector test and ask me these questions. In my soul, I have it. I feel like Kobe watched Mike. Mannerisms. What happens after he gets a hard foul? Oh, he does this. What happens after he gets his ass bust? Oh, he does this. Oh, what happens when he's having a rough day? And what has happened when he gets the glow? I feel like Mamba studied everything that Mike did and then just added more.
Yeah, added more.
That's just it. Now, can there be a Kobe without Michael Jordan? Hell no. No way. Not possible. In no way. But there is a Michael Jordan, and Kobe was able to study him.
He was.
You get what I'm saying?
I agree.
And I know that they get super, because there's these mythological just stories of amazement that's like, what? You can't put these, don't compare, never.
I mean, yeah, I do want to say something. When Last Dance came out, man, I was like, is the word mesmerized? Is that
100%?
Yeah, I was like, bro, this is just the way they handle the adversity, just kind of inside there. Look, we've been through some stuff that you will see when the team's documentary come out for the Bucks and with the year we won and how we it's always great to see that as an athlete and say like, hey, bro, you see what's actually going on. And these guys had got to do it 3 times. three-peat, you know, and which was an amazing achievement at that
Extremely
time,
amazing.
you know. So and the way people saying that nowadays, like, oh my God, marketing agencies are better. The marketing is better now, but the way the stories is told, the way the story is, it's like a mythical.
But this is my whole point. My generation is stepping into power now. There's a change of tides, and there will be a change of tides that is going to be all on this. So this is where I'm at with it, right? I hate with a passion GOAT conversations that ignore my whole generation.
Which one is your generation? Tell me.
The 2000s.
2000.
I need more conversations that have Kobe Bryant. I need more conversations that have Vince Carter. I need more conversations that have Tracy McGrady. I need more conversations that have Carmelo Anthony. I need more that have Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan, Dirk Nowitzki. It blows my mind. I get super tight. Now we're going to go viral. You people are getting me tight because y'all act like these guys aren't there. They go to the 90s and the 80s and then they skip to present. What happened in between? Why is Allen Iverson not talked about every day? I don't understand.
I mean, he's talked about, of course, like he's the
Not
great.
enough.
Like,
You haven't listened to our show enough.
No,
we talk about Iverson
we're talking
as much as humanly possible.
on a cultural aspect.
Yeah.
Not in increments. I'm talking about if we tune in on the bigger channels, you get what I'm saying? Not to say any specific channel, but when we tune into the bigger channels, you get what I'm saying? They have narratives that they run with consistently. Let's be real. When's the last time that you've tuned in and they're talking about best shooting guards ever and Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, Dwayne Wade is really spoken about? Honestly.
I mean, almost never. I gotta
Exactly.
Wait a little bit. Those
Wade more.
other two.
No, almost
for sure.
never.
Yeah.
In a sense, he's saying as an agenda, like specifically have a narrative saying like something about them and talk
They
about
need
them.
to. Okay, let me ask. Okay, I won't put you on the hanger.
No, you can ask me.
for the ranking.
No.
But if you had to give me notable, right, 5 shooting guards. Let's just start there. Shooting guards.
Yes.
Let's start listing this of all time.
Of all time.
Yes, yours.
Why you think of that? I'm just going to throw out there. Just
Yeah.
the way we do the show sometimes is just
No,
like,
I'm gonna give you my
it's
top
never
5
in
of all
order,
time.
but-
Obviously, is Michael Jordan considered too?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Mike?
Yep.
Mike. Is Kobe the same? Yeah,
Yes, sir.
because I'm talking about that because it's kind of the hybrids that play every position.
I'm with you.
But if we're going with those two for sure.
1, 2. The 3, 4, 5
me-
is what we want to talk
Yeah,
about.
I know my 3, 4, 5 right there. I'll let TA go first.
My 3, 4, 5 for sure is D Wade. I gotta put D Wade. I'm not even saying it just to say. I have to. Like this guy with the franchise, he did it the way he did it. Like the year we won, Giannis posted a photo after we won. Like it had the picture of Dwayne Wade in the story. Like for us, he was big. So those, and then I gotta just sit down and kind of do more research because then I gotta do.
Is Steph a 1 or a 2? What are we?
Steph is a 1.
Once a one. No.
I'm just making sure.
But
just
Steph
because
wasn't 1
for
and 2.
this.
Steph would have been in
Yeah.
off the rip.
I go to finish this 5. I go Mike, Kobe, Wade, obviously, and then Iverson had Eric Snow, so Iverson was technically a 2 guard.
Correct, he is.
And then you have James Harden.
James Harden 5.
Yeah,
I'm not mad.
And I'm not even a James Harden fan.
But let me say this.
all-time great.
If James Harden is a 2, he has to be in. If he's not a 2, he goes up there.
I have him in that 2 category.
Let me ask this.
But Allen Iverson's in.
Respectively, on career to career, and I'm just trying to get perspective. And I jack James Harden. That 5 right there is actually my 5. My number 5th slot. I have it in a unique. I have Kobe in order. I'll go my order. I go Mamba, Jordan, Dwayne Wade, AI, and then I tie for number 5. I think Vince Carter is really.
But Vince Carter was a 2.
I think
That's what I'm
Vince
saying.
Carter
Was he a 2
and
or a
James
3?
Harden is a very difficult thing for me to, because Vince Carter did develop. He does not shoot as good as James Harden. Vince Carter does not shoot as good as James Harden, but he developed a 3-point jump shot extremely strong in the latter half of his career.
So let me say something.
And Vince is definitely more athletic than James Harden is.
For sure. I mean,
Yes.
Vince Carter, we talk about athletes.
Yeah,
of all time.
James Harden's
but-
handle is stronger, so that we're talking about give
cannot-
take.
Yeah,
I think the weird part is
you
because
cannot compare.
but when Vince
don't
played,
I will tell you why. Because
I
go
was just
Tony
gonna
first.
say the reason when Vince played, I feel because he's like 6'6", 6'7", he was probably closer to a 3. So when I watch like highlights and old film,
Yes.
I look at him as more of a 3. But in today's game, because everyone's just bigger.
Yeah.
Now Russell Westbrook's a 1. He's 6'5". Like, it's unbelievable, right? So when I look at old Raptors or Nets stuff, I'm like, because I remember the Nets when those teams they would play the Bucks in a couple playoff series. I just see Vince in my head as a 3, so that's why.
Yes, to me, James Harden has like changed like the way, like it was some years, and not even now, like it was years that for I want to say close to 3-4 years, maybe half a decade, that he played a certain way that the whole NBA had to adjust to his game. Same way, like when guys have to do that, like when the NBA has to adjust to Giannis's play, when the NBA has to adjust to Shaq's play, when the NBA has to adjust to how guys play, to me that is
greatness.
Yeah, that is that means you're in a different tier. Mm-hmm. So when James Harden would come in with the floater and all of a sudden you touch him, he's gone. That tells me like he knows the game, he started the game. And you gotta realize too something about James Harden. He leaves, he's in OKC, he's playing greats. Russell Westbrook, Serge Ibaka, KD, and they decide to pay, if I'm not mistaken, Tony, tell me if I'm wrong, they decided to pay, let's say, Serge, he was a beast, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they're like, if we're gonna, I don't know, it was like 5-6 million left or whatever it was. He goes to Houston and makes Houston his team.
Big facts.
To me, that is, I cannot compare. I'm not saying it was Vince Carter because Vince Carter is like, to me, if you ask a dunker or high flyer, Vince Carter is like up here.
Yeah.
But it's two different things. I don't want to compare them. It's unfair for both of them because James Harden he's a tier by himself, and Vince Carter is the guy who we saw first time in FIBA overseas jumping over a guy.
Yeah.
Oh, you saw? Yep.
Come on, dog.
But
you know what I mean?
100%. But this is
now. If I gotta pick one, let's talk about it. If we gotta pick one,
we gotta go a 5. We had a consensus 4.
Yes.
And then 5, my 5 is James Harden. I got my 5A, 5B, Vince and James Harden. Yeah. And the reason why I just say Vince is I think that people shorthand his game very often.
They do.
And act like he was only athletic.
No, he wasn't only athletic. But bro, in Atlanta, when he was towards the end, bro, he would come in and shoot, like you don't say, he was their shooter. We'll have to run him off the line.
Yeah.
Yes.
Vince off rock.
So
yes.
I just did a quick, I literally Googled list of best shooting guards of all time.
Yeah, what did the list say?
In no order, so it's obviously Jordan, Kobe, Wade, Harden, and then Iverson's in there, but the other names they just have out there, not that we would, Jerry West, Clyde Drexler, Klay Thompson, Iceman, Ray Allen, T-Mac, Vince Carter, Reggie Miller, Pete Maravich, David Thompson, Joe Dumars, Ginobili.
It's crazy that Tracy, is it Tracy McGrady as well?
Yeah.
It's Tracy and Vince on the top 10.
I got
that's crazy.
The reason why I edge Vince over T-Mac is because Vince performed it for longer. We have to give. We gotta. There's certain asterisks
that you got to.
You have to.
Whether it's injury related or not.
Like, it's not T-Mac's fault. But Vince, and then we gotta. Again, I said it, but we have to recognize that he developed a handle and a jump shot. And it's like Blake Griffin is someone who totally switched his game, just like Vince Carter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We have to add that because there are guys that come in, I can dunk, and then they only can dunk, and then their game gets washed out. These guys, Blake Griffin and Vince Carter, are not even the same players year 1 through 5 and then 5 through 10. They're two different humans.
You know who?
There's another guy like that too.
Who?
His brother.
No. He was just because the body.
Yeah, he built
Brook
himself
Lopez
up.
Is the same thing. This man
Brook Lopez,
100%
the same deal.
He was in Brooklyn net with the Nets. He used to post all the time and was score. Brook Lopez used to be this all-time leading scorer from the post.
He didn't shoot threes till 5 years in the league, and then he was only shooting like 3 or 4 a year. And now he's shooting 3 or 4 a quarter.
Shooting threes, yeah. I do see like what you said, because even with me, first thing I said James Harden, but that's my generation, just me being younger, saying like this is my adulthood.
But I love that. Yeah. That's what I love. That's why people watch you. This is why people like Jeff Teague's show. This is why people like Lou Williams' show. It's because there's new representations with voices. Well, the voices that were in power are repetitive and they just keep saying the same points. And there's a whole other world. T-Mac is ridiculous.
For sure.
Like, I know, and I don't try to forget the OGs. I acknowledge them. And I acknowledge that we could not be us without y'all. But thanks for showing us the codes. We do it a lot better than a lot of them. That's just how I look at it. A lot. I
don't think that's crazy though. Like
but they
can
make
look.
it seem like it is.
The thing with me on this, a lot of this is like you can watch a documentary on the Celtics on Netflix, right? You can see this, and they'll show footage of games or practices, and I'll watch it and be like, "That's a senior in high school." Like you can see some.
Bro, I used to watch. So
there are all-time greats.
No.
How?
Seniors in high school is 360 in now.
You know what I'm saying, though. Like
because it could even be distant. It sounds disrespectful because they don't want it to be honest.
No,
seniors and kids is throwing their whole torso in the rim now.
Oh, I've been there. I understand that. I'm just saying you can see footage from the 70s, and then when JJ Redick goes viral for saying, I forget what point guard he was talking about, was playing against plumbers, and you see the footage, you're like, that's not that far off.
So let me give you an example. I had the same thing. I was watching soccer, right? You guys call it soccer, we call it football. Mm-hmm. So I'm watching highlights from the 1960s. Example. Then I watch highlights from now. This is a real game, real-time game. And it looked like they were moving in slow motion. Crazy. We're talking about soccer. Mm-hmm. Why do I say that? Because it's not just basketball. It's not just go out.
It's athletics.
It has to do with how people move, kinetics, how people learn patterns, movements. Like, it could be one guy who knew footwork in one team. It was like, oh, this guy is moving with his feet.
It's Magic Johnson.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, this guy gave the same game to the next generation, right? And everybody looked up to him. That's why, you remember when it was just Steph? And all of a sudden, now everybody's shooting off.
Everyone's shooting from 30.
Half court.
It's everything though, right? Like you can study, you can do what you said Kobe did and learn from Jordan, but also like
study.
There's IMG Academy. Like we're building athletes nowadays.
Everything.
There's nutrition and health studies. All of that matters so much more.
Recovery machinery.
Yeah,
insane.
It all matters so much more than anyone
because
realizes.
I do want to hear, because you 2000s. I want to hear like all-time centers.
All time. This is where it goes. So all time I go Shaq. 100%, okay. Right? I know they want to do the Kareem and stuff. This is where they don't like me because I'm not going there. I go Shaq. Okay. Now, what I see Joker do all the time, and it's ridiculous. And you've gotten to play against him. For us, Joker blows our mind how he's able to do a lot of the stuff that he does. I'm going to be real. This is a fan talking, okay? I did not go against Joker. But he looks like he's not in shape. He looks like he's not in shape.
He's in shape.
It looks like. You get what I'm saying? Like, okay, your brother, y'all look like brick walls. Pause. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Joker does not look the same. It doesn't. Dwight Howard. There's certain people that's like so cut, so Shaq. When in his early years, these guys look like they're ready. Joker looks different, so it blows my mind, but I would go Joker too.
Okay. That's like the Joker thing is like when people see an offensive or defensive lineman in the NFL and they're like, they're just big or they're just overweight. No, you do not want to run into that.
Yeah.
I could imagine.
You were going to run.
So
the Brewers used to have a player, he was 5'9", 5'10", Prince Fielder. Big boy. He's just bigger guy. Someone would run into him. I could imagine. Done.
What Joker does every night, I know it has to it's just like a blur because he's amazing.
Let me give you an example. You said one is
Shaq.
Two is
Joker.
What's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
I'm not sure yet. I don't know. I didn't get to feel that. I see the highlights. This is what I'm saying. When I'm looking at the highlights, I got to look at who these guys are going against, and this is where they don't like me, but I got to talk about like the stuff that I seen. I go Joel. I want to go Dwight Howard. These are the people that I seen. Like, because...
Definitely got to put Kareem in that list. But the reason I haven't...
Centers are just so different, too, because that position has evolved so much over time. Like, Brook Lopez is technically a center, and he's shooting threes. Mm-hmm. Joel Embiid came into the league as someone who could shoot at an early age.
Yes.
But Shaq wasn't stepping outside the paint and still put up 60.
Do me a favor. Could you go top centers of all time? Yeah, best centers of all time.
I'd love to see... See, the thing with Kareem is, when did Kareem retire? Does anybody, like, off top? Kareem and Bill Russell, when did they retire?
I think Kareem played until, like, the late 80s, if not the early 91, 92.
But this
is what we got the internet for.
The only OG that's on my list is Hakeem, and I'd probably put Hakeem.
Hakeem as a center or power forward? What is Hakeem?
Well, center, 100%. I'd put Hakeem 3.
Yeah, I definitely got to put
Wikipedia
Hakeem.
says his career ended in 89, so he's played.
I go Shaq, Joker, Hakeem. And what Joker does on pivots and off balance, what he's doing on the block, it gets really overlooked because of his mid-range and his range passing ability. Joker passes better than Hakeem could. Hakeem defends better than Joker, but Joker can shoot in all three spaces. Shaq was a better passer than people try to give him credit for it.
Yes. Definitely. I remember double teams, one hand.
100%. Really, really controlling. Shaq was also a lot more poised. People don't speak about Shaq's poise enough. Like, Shaq is very rarely, he's never really flustered. And Shaq was really getting triple teamed. And they were hitting him hard, bro.
Shaq's an all-time. There's a lot of love for centers.
Shaq has a lot of poise, bro.
So what is it?
So this is Hoops Hype, right? I just typed in the best centers of all time. Kareem, Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain. Shaq comes in at 4.
Come on, guys.
And then you have Hakeem, Moses Malone, David Robinson, Jokic. You ever mess up the Joker and Jokic? Patrick Ewing's number 9. And then you got George Mikan at 10. Bob McAdoo, Wes Unseld, Robert Parrish, Willis Reed, Dwight Howard's 15.
Come on, guys.
Dave Cowens. I think he played for
these guys are great.
Joel is 17 on this list.
Joel Embiid is 17, right?
Bill Walton.
The guy who has 70? Is that the same Joel Embiid or is it different Joel Embiid who has 70?
17.
No,
70.
Oh.
Is it the same guy who has 70
points? Is that the
points?
same guy who has 70? This is nuts. This is what I'm talking about, bro. I'm not with this. I'm not with none of the shenanigans, bro. They have to stop. Joel Embiid can run the 1. Like, he can literally dribble the whole court. Stop the madness.
So let me give you an example now.
This is craziness.
Right? Just wait till we get to point guards.
Oh my God. Okay.
Jeez,
So my thing is,
let's go.
You're saying, like, okay, first of all, the NBA or the writers or shows we skip the nada, right, which is the 2000s plus, right? Now, we cannot not say, like, we cannot not acknowledge Karim Abdul-Jabbar or not say that Chamberlain, Wilt, like, is one of the best centers of all time. Now, the top 5 to me, Shaq is top dog.
Okay.
That's just me, though. That's just me saying it because
Shaq's
that's preferences. Oh no.
Okay.
No, but I like
Shaq retired in what, 14 or 15, probably. Yeah.
Okay.
But what I would say is, like, the way he played, how he impacted the game, the way he made the game change, like, shift. Like, I remember they said they used to
hack a Shaq.
Yeah, of course. And then they used to, like, sign, like, just 7-footers for no reason, just to foul. They just sign them, get them on the roster, just foul them.
We need more fouls, 100%.
Yeah.
So you were in New York, though, right?
I'm born and raised in Brooklyn, 100%.
So Patrick Ewing, just because we're talking centers and you didn't bring him up,
Shout out all the Knicks fans. They don't like me for stuff like this.
He seemed to me, like, when you watch footage of him, he was pretty transcendent. Like, he was cut, he was athletic, he's strong.
Yeah,
I think he could have played across multiple generations.
So this is how I say it. Let me give clarity, right?
And a bully, too.
Like, the original people that built the pillars that built hip hop, right, are the foundation of it. The same exact way I look at hip hop and basketball, same thing. Y'all are the foundation. We couldn't get to where we got without you. You get me? Like, without, you know what I mean? I tell them I'm here and I am hot. I don't care what's here. You will not stop. Like, all that's dope. But you get credit for being an innovator. You get credit for starting this. You get credit like you are a trailblazer. But to then, just because you started it and you're a part of the original foundations, should not weigh as heavily in being of the greatest of all times. Let me give clarity. Right now, straight up and down, LeBron, right? LeBron has passed to where he's, becoming number 1 on everybody's list of, if he just continues this, it's ridiculous, right? But we're allowing it to happen. And that's what has to happen. As people get better, the olders must continue to go down the list because we're adding more. So I think that we got to acknowledge that the game, the art, and the sport are all thankfully celebrating the OGs, but let's stop being ridiculous. The top 5 has to change. And if we ever, like, even when they do the video games and they do the AI technically doing it, they're already adjusting it because it's not fair. They did it.
What do you mean the AI? So explain that to me. When they were doing the AI, old school versus new school?
Okay. And I'm not saying it because you're here. I believe this. Yeah. Giannis and Steph is my 2 favorite players right now. This is my real, like, very early in their careers, I'm with these guys. because I feel like you got to champion your guys. You don't jump on that. You get me? I get mad every single day that I didn't understand how good SGA was because I wish I was championing him from year one. Now I'm too late. Now I can just admire, but he can't be in my favorite players because I'm now just putting on a jersey too late. You got to beat early. I was with Giannis early. I was with Steph early. This is just what it is, right? Cool. And I'm not with LeBron because I had Mamba because we had to be decisive when I was growing up, being honest. But
I mean, they made some great Nike commercials back
geez,
in the day.
you got
Man,
to.
those were the best.
It's the best. So now when we
so
go
good.
and now we're looking at this reality, I want to acknowledge all of our OGs, but we got to be real. The top 5 it got to have more present. We're just so much better. If you put, and I'm not saying this because you're
give
if
me
you
a
put
scenario.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on this end of the court, Giannis can go to the other end and back before he finishes once. Just running with the ball. He's going to go back and forth before he gets to
we don't
one.
know that. I don't know how quick Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was. He was very athletic.
This is Wilt Chamberlain. We're watching them. Like, bro, Giannis is ridiculously fast. Like, ridiculously fast. He's galloping. He's not even really run. Giannis don't even really run. He really just gallop. Woof. Woo, it's ridiculous. Are we serious?
How many steps does it actually take?
Giannis might be getting to the half court in 4 steps.
Because I was going to say, I think it's like 6 steps that he's from baseline to the other side of the court.
You know what's so crazy?
I wouldn't doubt it. He's doing 4 and a half court.
And I can say this. You know that Giannis does the 100 meters at 11 seconds something? This is crazy, bro.
It's not crazy because we got to adjust the list. The new guys are the new guys. This is ridiculous. Yo,
He's probably too tall to come out of the
block. We have to stop
that
the
could be
madness. Giannis, Kevin Durant is the best handling 7-footer at this exact point, right? If Wemby didn't get hurt, I think Wemby would have probably passed him because Wemby's, his handles it. But Kevin Durant is it. Kevin Durant,
Wemby has,
if we go Kevin Durant dribbling the ball, he's faster than every single center before 1990. Like every 7-footer, pardon me.
Oh, every 7-footer for sure.
That's my point. That's my point.
But there's things, I think there are certain players. The thing that I get frustrated with this whole debate, right, is like the people who are like, oh, when LeBron made his comments, Giannis would score 250 and let's say I think he
we did
70s.
say that.
He said that?
LeBron said,
I swear I'm co-signing it.
If Giannis would, oh, you didn't see this? Yeah.
No,
he
but
said,
I co-sign it. It's not because of him. Steph will have 8.
No.
Steph will average 121 points a game.
We said on the show if Kyrie Irving showed up in the 1970s to be arrested for witchcraft, for sure. Like,
They'll be like,
yeah, they're like, all right, this guy's
I
not
didn't
from
get
this
the point
world.
out. It's coming.
But
Listen.
there are certain, like, if you put an average NBA player in, or you put Giannis in the 70s, right? Like, he's going to be an absolute superstar. But I do think there are players you can take from a different generation, whether it's 70s, 80s, or 90s, put them in today's game, and they can hold their own. It's the rest of the league. It's
positive thinking, Tony.
Numbers 3 through 10 on that roster that would not be in the NBA today.
So
I work with people.
Who would from the 80s? I'm just curious. I just want to get a quote. This is going to fly, by the way.
Here's the thing, is that my history is terrible.
Just pick any.
I'm just going to Google best players from the 1980s.
Yeah, you go.
Just because I don't.
Go.
And while you're Googling that, the players of now have to, on camera, admit this. Because they have to be politically correct and hold their political ties. I'm not in the NBA. I can tell you the truth. It's
No. I'm going to say the truth. I don't care.
the guy now,
Truth.
yesterday alone, I'm looking on TV, right? And I'm looking on let's just take Bucks and Pacers series early, right? Let's just take that. We got people like even Halliburton, Miles Turner, these guys, the things that they're doing, it's insane. Kevin Porter, these are not regular.
Kevin Porter? Yes.
It's not regular.
Yeah.
It's not regular. And in no way, shape, or form. Authentically, if we really had to physically, let's not talk the monsters. Let's talk the very good players. Mm-hmm. What would someone do for a Kevin Porter? Left-handed, herky-jerky, jump shot, extremely athletic. Who would stop him? I don't even want the top guys because I think it's ridiculous. Who could stop these guys? Who could stop, and I'm not joking, who could stop Jamal Crawford? Like, I don't even have to go, who? These guys are wiry, faster, can shoot. It's insanity. It's just insanity.
Give Jamal Crawford.
Yeah.
All right, so this is just a quick Reddit thread. Best players in the 1980s. All right. You tell me if you think they could play in today's game. Isaiah Thomas, 100%
Yes.
can play in today's game.
Yes.
Tough, good point guard. Michael Jordan, obviously. Dr. J.
Yes.
There's a role for a doctor. Like
No. He would play, bro.
Yeah.
His height, his athleticism, is big. He fits the criteria. He would play in today's game for sure.
Moses Malone was in that era. Big, yeah, obviously going to be like Kareem. I think there's a place, 100% a place for Kareem. And we do have to account for like if
Bro, we have Zach
called,
Edey with the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar would be playing at our time, and he would be great.
What I'm saying, Kareem didn't have to develop a jump shot. If you told him to, like, hey, you're going to be the NBA, he would. He just would.
Okay.
And then Dominique Wilkins, yeah, he's strong as anybody, right?
You're naming like the top 10 greatest.
That's the thing I'm trying to say.
We're going down on the list. Which one of them would play?
If you give me the 12th guy from the bench from the Atlanta Hawks in the 80s,
5 players.
Yeah, I'm sure like they wouldn't all
keep
be
going because not everybody's going to make it on the list.
Yeah, Dominique Wilkins, Alex English, Bernard King, you're a New York guy. He's not budging at all over here. Sidney Moncrief, Adrian Dantley. So those guys are listed as the elite top 15 or so from the 1980s.
Word.
I think they all play today.
Oh.
They all have like they might not be.
No, they don't. Not all of them.
Not all
of them?
First
first 8 you said yes.
This is crazy.
The first 8 you said yes. Not all of them.
I'm not saying they're all stars. I'm not saying they're all NBA, but there's a
no,
spot
they play.
on the
There's a
roster.
spot to play. But what about these guys? Were the best of the best, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
The best of the best.
As we go through generations, we get better and better and better and better.
Here, would he crack the top 50? Not the top 50 of the league, the top of the top.
Yeah.
Yes.
But we're again having to adjust it.
Yeah, of course we do.
But that's what I am saying. We're already playing AI games to make it competitive. If we're talking about the top for the top, that's why when it gets to certain points, you just got to be like, yo, that was the greatest of their generation. And then I will have those conversations all day. The players, Tim Duncan can play tomorrow. You get me? There's not a question. Tim Duncan can play tomorrow. Kevin Garnett can play tomorrow. Rasheed Wallace, Chris Webber can play tomorrow. There's a difference. We gotta chill. We gotta really chill. Like these guys, like when it
so give me the equivalent. I want us to go a little bit from sports. Like give me the equivalent in the era of like your like of being an artist. Like who is the artist that you think like the artist now? You think the same thing in music? Do you think the same thing?
Let me tell you why. I have this is perfect. I love this guy. I love Thanasis. Y'all don't understand. Let me tell you what the difference of everything is. Music is art.
With the same way we could say, hey, Nas and Jay-Z and some other guys are not as good as the guys who are coming down now, and not as influential as either Drake, if you want to say it, or either like.
You want me to tell you why it's different? It's because music is art, and art can peak, and then it transforms.
I mean, before you come in, I do think basketball is art as well. Why do I say that? I'll give an example. Like when you see the performances, right? The reason, everybody ranks top 15 or top 10 of all time is the performances and the seasons guys have had, right? The season Giannis had, the finals run, the way he's playing in the playoffs, right? It's like, oh yeah, that's masterclass. LeBron James, 3-1, being down 3-1, 3-2. That was a performance that put him in the Mike type of stratosphere and Kobe-esque stratosphere, right? That performance. Like with Miami when he won, cool, he won, but he wasn't in the same stratosphere as the Kobe and the Mikes. But that 3-1 against the Warriors put them there. Steph Curry, him playing like this, him winning multiple championships, the way he plays, like masterclass puts him there. So like, I would say there is art because you go back to see the performances because it's the eye test, right? You go back to see those performances. You see the Utah Jazz, the Mike hitting that shot coming down. You see the Kobe Bryant doing this, like the hitting shot. So it is art. It's just like
it. So more of where I was saying with music being more art versus basketball being more of an art is because there's a physical aspect in y'all world that peaks and declines. I don't know. The art doesn't have to decline with age.
Oh, I know.
Okay. You get what I'm saying? The art doesn't.
No, that makes sense.
The art in music though, it hits a peak, and then there's no more to. It doesn't get better. It transforms into a different art form. I believe that rap hit its peak, like its peak for what it is in the early 2000s. That's when everybody got there, and then it transformed. And then came the development of trap. Like that's a totally different drum, totally different tile. They're rapping, but it's a totally different game. Totally different. Rap, I feel like peaked. Today, it's transforming again, and it transformed more often now because of the free form way that it can be distributed. These kids are developing more versions of the art. Where y'all is more athletically driven, they can't really transform the game too far. You still have to be of core for what it was.
So let me bring this full circle then. I'm just going to use New York examples for you. KRS-One drops today.
Yes, sir.
There's a lane for him, but is he considered one of the greats?
Yeah.
Same with Big Pun, guys like that. Because of the way that you can distribute, there's lanes for all of these people, and that doesn't actually apply to athletics because you only have
correct.
Because the physical specimen and all of it.
Correct. So something that I was, again, and I've tapped on it multiple times, something that I go viral about often is about us putting a high respect on hip hop. In hip hop, us putting the highest respect on hip hop is creating subgenres. I think this is the most overlooked thing that happens in our culture. I feel like our culture should don't hold me to the name, but I think that we should have a traditional, an OG, or an adult rap, however the name is. But I feel like we should have a category for adult rap. I'm gonna tell you why. When a new kid comes out, and a new person comes out into the game, what happens is that we all get to a point where we go, how do I outdo the hot person right now? So let's make up anybody who's super hot, like a brand new super hot kid right now is probably like I'm trying to get like an Ice Spice.
Okay.
Who's like extremely viral. Extremely. If she puts out a song, Ice Spice puts out a record, and then tomorrow, let's make another female, let's say Lil' Kim puts out a record. Ice Spice statistics will make it look like Lil' Kim shouldn't be rapping anymore.
Gotcha.
Statistics. Because it's going to be like, damn, nobody's checking for her. But in reality, she shouldn't be competing, I don't think. I think we should have a space for traditional rap, and then she can do what she always does, and then they compete against each other, and then it's all representation of hip-hop, the culture, and then these subgenres allow...
And it's not only hip-hop that does this too, though, because like just looking at headlines, I might not necessarily consume a lot of it, but people don't consider like Taylor Swift to be country music anymore, right? There's like a blend between what country was, what pop music and top 40 music was, and what she's doing and what other groups like, she's not a group, but what other people are doing like that. So it's in like all genres of music.
Yeah,
it just is.
I can only speak for my culture.
For sure.
Because I'm highly educated in my culture.
Yeah, no doubt.
These others, I'm a passing fan.
Fair enough.
Get me?
Yeah.
So, but I do think rock cares about their culture so much. There's soft rock, yacht rock, adult rock, contemporary rock, pop rock. There's everything. Hard rock. There's so much different elements of rock music that it's like they care about their genre. I am somebody that's a representation of my genre, and I care about my genre, so I push the narratives that I know that my genre needs to pay attention to, which is that we need subgenres so that our genre will live on forever. I don't feel like our OG should stop rapping. I think they should graduate to a different side of the culture.
That's fair.
I do. I mean, okay. My mind. I just remember a question I wanted to ask before. Do you have any crazy stories from like, you've managed all these people, you've done all these things like throughout the hip hop? Because first of all, I've heard a lot of stories, but I don't know if they're true. I've heard like all kind of stuff, like either from people saying like, oh man, like some people say, like, have you ever heard this when you ask your mom like, hey, what do you want to do? And they go like, hey, I want to be a doctor, I want to be an athlete. For every profession you told your parents when you were growing up you want to be, they give you something, right? They go like, unless you want to be a doctor. They're like, oh yeah, my son's going to be a doctor.
Doctor, lawyer.
Yeah, doctor, lawyer, or whatever. But let's say when they say, example, like, I want to be a rapper, I want to be this. And they go like, no, you're in the streets. Is that the real thing? Or is it just a myth that you don't have to be? You can be a rapper and not be in the streets and not be.
At this exact point, 2025?
Yes.
2025, you can be a regular guy. Before, I don't think that it was really possible. Someone's going to try to attest this point by having the one or two exceptions. But in reality, that street energy was essential to really being the shit in rap. Now, no, not at all. Because now there's so many avenues to just promote yourself and market it. You could just totally be yourself. You know what I mean? Because there's different levels of success. Now it's about owning your music. Now it could be about selling your merchandise. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be tough at all to be successful in rap, you know, for a substantial amount of time. But there was a point where you needed to be real.
Yeah, this is what I want to go.
You have to be real, though.
Yes.
Not because real doesn't mean tough. You have to be real. You have to be true to yourself.
So let me ask you about this, because
I want to go back to the stories because it was like
ahead.
when the time, like you said, like, okay, you had to be tough.
Yeah.
Like I want you to walk me through. Like, do you have any stories from like that you can talk about?
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think. I mean, with rap, I don't know what stories I could really tell that's like a shock value that kind of blow your mind, but being a part of this culture and it being so braided in and out of the streets, I've been in cars that was shot at, like while it's being shot, ducking on the floor, put bulletproof vests over you. Like, because the bulletproof
vest. So that's not crazy to you? Because to me, that's crazy.
Oh, it's very crazy.
That's crazy to me. I don't know.
None of this is, I don't think none of this is regular. I think my life was highly traumatizing. I think my life was highly dangerous. That's why when I got to a point, when Pop had died, I just turned off my Instagram and just turned off everything and just told myself I'm leaving Brooklyn. Because I was just done. But I wasn't there. It's just too much close to home. PNB Rock was one of my closest, like one of my, I was just getting really, really close with him. Not one of my closest, but I was getting very close with him. We always had conversations. And PNB Rock, I spoke to him maybe 3 days before he got killed out in LA. I spoke to, Pop was with my nephew and my little brother in the studio the night he died. Like, it's too much. I spoke to Nip probably 4 days before he got killed. And then these are the popular affiliations. Then I got rappers that were around me that are in jail for a very long time. You know what I mean? Like, they're gonna be in jail for a very, very long time. It's too, the side of rap that I was around, I've dealt with an excruciating amount of trauma. And a lot, and I don't try to sell it cool. I don't do it. That's why I speak and I articulate it in the most authentic fashion so that people can understand. I grew up in the street. I'm not a part of it anymore. Like, that's a real thing that you have to get comfortable with saying. To not feel like you need the validation to be like, I'm active. I'm not active. I haven't been active in a long time, but I'm from it. I'm from the same blocks that everybody comes and shoots videos on. It's my block. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I guess. I played basketball on that block. You know what I mean? Like, this is just what it is. But there are people that want the validation from this and they get lost in it. I think what if there's messaging that needs to be perpetuated,
yes.
The messaging that needs to be perpetuated is really be true to self and really understand that everything that happens in front of these machines called cameras is being recorded. And you gotta really pay attention to what you're saying on these machines because it doesn't just disappear. You have to be very mindful on the energy that you put out, because that energy is going to come back to your way. You got to be very, very cautious that the words that you speak are going to be received by people. You know, I said this the other day on another pod. Shout out to Ray Daniels, my brother. And I was talking about Pop Smoke, and I said, we have to be honest that Pop Smoke grew up gang because he grew up watching what, let's just say, like my peers and what was happening in our neighborhood. There's representations that A happened because of B. In LA, in like California politics, you're almost born into the gang sometimes. You get what I mean? Like, these things are generational and it's difficult to avoid it. But when you get educated on these things, you can separate. You just have to become bold enough to step on your own.
Do you think they still need it? Do you think that you still have to, like, you know, you think they still need, like, to, I mean, you did say you can be a regular guy. You don't need to, you know, do all this.
Now you can be a total fun kid. Just have to be honest. Don't lie. Because even if you're a regular kid and you just make up I was poor, if you're not poor and then they show you a picture where you got jewelry and jackets and all this cool shit when you're a kid, now you look like you're a liar. Don't lie.
Yeah.
Just be honest.
So when you manage people, you tell them, like, hey, they'll just be, let's stay true to yourself. Let's stay true to...
I try to keep them as close to true as you can. You always got to lie, though. It's impossible to be 100% honest. It is. And these are the things that don't get broadcasted, but artists are lying to their fans every day. Is it a drastic lie? You get what I mean? Like, yo, I'm so hyped right now to drop this new song. They might be having the worst day of their life.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but that's where they have to lie.
Yes.
You have to lie. Some days you wake up and you're feeling shit, maybe family pressure, and you got to go, all right, guys, tonight is the day. You're lying to yourself, to the people, to the camera. You have to lie because you're professional.
Yeah, I gotta do
so
my
we're
job.
professionals. We have to lie sometimes, but you don't want to. It's not about lying. You're not, better word, you won't alter your morals for this. But if you got to tell them what they got to hear for a while, you would. But you wouldn't sell your morals. You wouldn't steal from someone.
No. I don't need to do that.
You wouldn't cut a throat. Exactly. So morals are essential to you.
You know, and I want to say this. Like my dad, he said this all the time, and he was like, because I'm so close to my brother, and everybody would be like, man, you're so close with your family. And it's up to some people, it's weird.
It is.
It's weird. It's like, dang, they're always together. And like, whoa, somebody grabbed him and he jumped up like, bro, he's a grown man. Like, why you want to fight for your brother? Why you want... Because my dad, bro, he taught me like this. Like he told me, like, listen, you might lose in the test of popularity, right? But you will win in the test of essence of who you are. You know? So that's what I wanted. I don't care about being popular. I care about how my family sees me. I care about how I'm remembered by the people who, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. I'm not changing my morals. I'm not, bro, this is my heart, this is who I am. It's just like so crazy that a lot of people will do the opposite. Just try to win at the test of popularity and lose the essence, lose
of
who
the
we
morals.
Are, lose the... No, bro. Like, just trust me. It's coming. It's gonna work out regardless, you know? So,
morals are important, bro. But you got passed that on by a good family structure.
Yeah,
Can I be honest with you? Not all of my friends had good family structures. Not all of us had a balance. I grew up with only having a female perspective on how I should grow up. I didn't have a father. My father's a bum. So it's like, how do I grow up? I had to learn manhood from my friends, and my friends is on gang time. How I'm gonna learn how to be a man and a proper person. I had to absorb so much life from my friends and from, you know what changed my life? My basketball coaches. I used to play ball. I played ball like for real. I mean, I'm fat now, but I played, you get what I mean? Like, it's just real shit. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't kill anybody now. I could probably knock down, I might be able to hit maybe 10, 11 out of 15 on a certain part of that 3 line. I could still shoot. I ain't gonna be able to shoot in motion though. You get what I mean? But I might be able to, you put a couple hundred on the floor, I might be able to go, all right, let's go. T, let's throw something up. I could go. But yo, man, shout out to my coaches that took care of me, because this is a good thing. Shout out to Coach Al, Coach Screen, Coach Tony. These are guys that took me in like sons. Sons. Those guys changed my life. And I'm gonna say this, T, I'm gonna be real. They changed my life. You know what I mean? Some of these people saved my life because I was so close to the street. It's so easy to be like, I bet, bandana time, we flagging me on gang. If I didn't have those 3 men, I don't even know if I'd be alive, because the street was so aggressive that if I didn't have those relief moments to go play basketball, it's only telling what more time on the street would have done for me. So coaches had to step in to be my fathers when I didn't have a father.
Oh,
this is a real. So you even saying this when you like brothers. At first when I looked at it, I was like, he's crazy. But I had to learn you and go, yo, bro, it's just them. There was no them. You know who was my them? My dogs. So now I'm trying to become TA to Giannis and TA to Alex. I'm trying to get that bond with people that aren't my blood. And then shit can go wrong. They can cut your throat. They can get in trouble. They can switch on you. But you're born. You said it yesterday to me. I'm born with a team.
Yeah, I was born in a group.
I had to figure out I was born into a group. You said group, not team.
Yeah.
You're born into it. Yeah. I wasn't.
Yeah.
I was, like you grow up with a single mother who's like, this is how you're supposed to be as a man. She don't really know. She knows what she wants me to be, but you need a father, bro.
Yeah, you do need like just man, I'm just so happy. Even though like we really was like going through it, we really didn't have much, but we had each other. So that actually, it builds more. I don't know how to call it. Just gave us really, really like
bond.
Yeah, no, the tools to success, the recipe for us, because like we knew automatically what it means to be in a family. I know automatically what it means to take care of each other. Automatically what it means to be, to be
one, to move as one.
No, to be wrong or right. I saw, because let me give you a family dynamic. Right? I've been with both of my parents, and I see a lot of times people get in disagreements, right? Men, women, be like, oh, I had a fight, or me and my girlfriend, or me and my husband, or or my wife, me and my wife, blah blah. And I always say the same thing. I was like, I watch my parents fight, but at the same time, I watch them like
fix up
and be together, and I watched how many times my dad was like, yes, even though he was a big man in the house, and how many times he said yes, and he never traded his peace for justice. He never said like, oh, this, I want to be right, I'm gonna create this atmosphere. He was always, no, this is peaceful, this is us, we have enough problems, we got to be all together, be together. And my mom the same, and my mom the same. She never said like, I'd rather be right than not, and everybody be in turmoil. Like everything was like, oh, we love each other. So I do think there's a big component into bringing people the right way into the world and having.
Yeah, you had a strong. I met your mom. You have a strong foundation to be the man that you wanted to be, and the men that your brothers, and the way that y'all got out of Antetokounmpos. Just think of. Let me talk to you. Let me talk to you, right? Because you're you, so you neglect you.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I don't know, it's just me. Bro, you have a brand where when y'all got famous and rich, y'all said, we're not splitting and doing our own thing. We're going to come back as a unit and do it for us again. And we're going to do it with our last name. Like, do you really get that? Like, that's not a normal thing. Can I be real with you?
It does look normal to me.
Let me tell you something so real. I was going to change my name because I have no connection to my last name. Because my mom gave me my dad's last name. I'm like, I don't know this. I'm half Puerto Rican. I don't know none of it. I don't know, not a cousin, not an uncle. I don't know them.
Yeah.
So I have no connection to me being half Puerto Rican. I don't know. I grew up black. America, that's it. Caribbean, how my mother, that's it. You loved what you came from so much, bro, that you said, my brand is going to be my last name. It's going to be my family. And it's going to be me and my brothers alone. Like, that's not normal. So when you get to be like, no matter what, Punch, if we lost all our bread tomorrow, I still got my brothers.
That's facts. I'll tell you that.
That's
right now.
crazy. That's blessed. Yeah, that's real. That's locked in.
But this is like, it's a thing. It's an energy that's reciprocated. Because I'll tell you this. Not all families like that. So I don't take. I don't take that for granted. Not all families like, all brothers help each other, all sisters help each other, or brothers and sisters. But the number one thing that my family taught me is that invest in people who is going to invest in you.
Talk about it.
Because all the time, a lot of times people will be like, oh, go help everybody, help this, help that, which is okay. You should be helping people. You get to a position, you can help, go help people. But if you can navigate, if you can sit down and find a way to find people who can invest in you, you invest in them. And then you create this unbreakable bond of like camaraderie and partnership and journey of life. And you're like, oh, this is my couple of friends, and you all work together, you all do kind of things. Because the first thing everybody says, like, you shouldn't do business with friends, you should do business with this guy, you should do business with that guy. And I always say the same thing. I said, to me, that is false. What's the right question should be, are your friends or whoever you want to invest in or do business with or give money to, are they invested in you? Would they do the same if they were in your position?
Is that said back home in Greece?
No,
or is that an American?
No, it's
because I know that, and I know culturally we say it, but is that a worldwide position? That
I think it's universal. I think
don't know because America we have bad.
Yeah, I think it's pretty universal.
Yeah,
around,
it is.
You don't. What is it? You don't rent or especially go into business or.
No. I've heard this saying. I've heard this say, and in Greece and here as well. Okay. I'm just saying though, what people will lack, right? They have. I say they, and everybody's gonna be like, who's they? But the system has like isolated everybody. Mm-hmm. Like even in a public school, do you know in the public school, like, twins are not allowed to be in the same class?
Where? In Greece?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. What? Like let's say,
why?
That's how it is. Because they want you to form your own personality. They want you to do this. Yeah. twins, kids. Like if you're brothers and you guys are the same, you're not allowed to be in the same school you like to, and they isolate you so much, which is crazy. They tell you like either way, like parents, have a home, you build a house, and they go like, you're 18 now, you have to leave. Leave to do what? Leave to go where? Like I'm supposed to learn what I need to learn, and then you're not telling me to leave. I'm leaving because I got to start my journey, and you guys are behind me, helping me as much as you can. It's not the other way around. Like, oh, you 18 years old, you 20 years old. What are you doing here? What? That's a poor mindset, because that means you don't have enough. You didn't have enough. You just did it, but you don't have enough for your family. Yeah. Because if my son and daughter, whoever is 18 and 20 years old, I'm not gonna say like, oh, you should be staying here all day and do nothing. If I did what I'm supposed to do, I'm supposed to create an environment for them to be like, hey, Dad, I gotta go do my thing. I was like, all right, I'm here with you. What do you want? I think about this, I'm thinking about that. You got my support, you got the family, you got your uncles, you got your cousins, you got everybody. We're rooting for you. You know what I'm saying? Or vice versa. Like this is what I don't see. And people when people go through this structure and become successful, they don't share why they're successful. I share this all the time. I'm successful because of my mom and dad, because of our work ethic, because of our DNA of hard work, because of my brothers. That's why I'm successful. I don't take credit for this. Now, that I have qualities, of course I do have qualities. And of course I'm good at certain stuff. And of course I carry my weight, And the same thing with my brothers and the same thing with my family. But I don't sit here and go like, oh yeah, it was just me. No, bro, I have people around me who are invested. I have people who've done my businesses. People who sit down. I don't take credit. Like Tony was behind the first season, second season, Tony was behind the camera. Was behind the camera the whole time. And I was like, no, Tony, you got to come in. You got to check out the format. And I always say, hey, this is my guy Tony and my guy Tony. And because you have to give the credit. Like
say their name.
That's what leaders do, man. Say their name. Yes.
Say their name. I tell you all the time.
That's what leaders do. So I do think like we should try as much as we can advocate for people to do stuff together, to bring your unit, bring your culture. I'm learning now about the rap game and I'm learning about the American culture in New York, and okay, man, this is totally different from what I'm used to, but how can I help you? How can you bring people who, in my circle, how can you bring people to get this? You could be anything, but I'm saying how can we help each other to achieve something better, greater,
So when are you bringing 50 on the show?
I don't got 50 new number.
That's what we
when I had 50, when I was around 50 a lot, it was so exciting. I mean, in reference with some people though, me and T, we've been speaking on get some bigger guys on the pod and start calling some of my friends and really get them in there and mesh. And then we speaking now about doing more stuff on this world. Because as you can see, I have some polarizing positions on basketball.
I'm trying to get before 1999, it didn't happen. If you ask me,
I'm trying to get into do some more sports show.
95. 95. The Kevin Garnett draft was fantastic.
I'm trying to get him to come do our sports show.
I want to badly. And then we're gonna have the perspective that we need. This 95 draft was so strong, man. 94
who's the 95 draft?
Kevin Garnett.
Okay.
Antonio McDyess, Rasheed Wallace, Damon Stoudemire.
And then 96 is the famous one right after
96 is AI, Marcus Camby, Ray Allen, Sharif Abdul-Rahim, Stephon Marbury, Antoine Walker.
Let me call Stephon right now, bro.
I think there's another name on this list.
Of course. We don't even listen. All right. 96 is the birth of Mamba. Hello, guys. I was getting there.
Okay.
I had one more quick thing for you.
Well, but Kerry Kittles, it's a lot of people that year. That was crazy, man.
You a candy guy?
Yeah, listen. Yes,
we know.
When y'all did this to Road to Me, and I took the sour candy, they gave me something that almost.
That's why we're going to give you an option.
Okay, I love candy. This is your box here. I love Candy FunHouse. Shout out to Candy FunHouse. Please go visit their website. They got all kind of candies, and they got some special stuff. What they get you? What they got you?
This is the stuff that I get.
I put
nervous
it on
about.
the top so you can make your own decision.
So I can make my own decision and not.
What is it?
This is Jolo chip or hollow chip. I don't know what it is, but it says the hottest chocolate challenge. Let me tell y'all something very clear. The world real quick. Let me be very clear with y'all so y'all can understand. Believe the headlines. They gave me a Sour Patch, and last time I go, This is stupid. How serious could be? I was dying for 40 minutes. Everybody was doing, listen, believe the rappers. I want to see if they got calm candy in here for me.
So what I wanted to have happen was he would eat the hot chocolate and then also give us his hot take of his New York all-time top 5 rappers.
Oh, I'm totally with it. I'd love to. I loved it. This is, yo, man, I love this. The Candy FunHouse, make sure y'all get it. If y'all got a sweet tooth, everybody needs a box of something of these. Yo, TA, we got to start getting this. I can start getting this to a bunch of people and they'll go crazy with this.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, whoever
people like candy.
We'll send in boxes for days. You know what? We got to send people who are watching and listening.
Caramel cold
We got to get the. Hey,
we ran a contest. We sent it out a couple boxes.
No, we got to send more. We got to send more.
Page at Thanalysis Show. Follow along for stuff like that.
Yo, can I ask you one question before you ask me the top 5?
Go.
Who is the top 5 most underrated basketball players that you've balled against? Top 5 most underrated.
Underrated.
Ball players where you go, y'all think he regular, but he's ridiculous.
Obviously, everybody says this one. I always say this one first. Is Drew Holiday's one for sure. Like
it's tough.
Bro, he's so tough. Like you don't understand.
Are you gonna try this? Are you trying to?
I just might.
Let me see it.
He's tough.
He's tough, man.
What was the most? And then just one thing that surprised. Like what's when you go? Oh, he's way what? Stronger, faster, smarter. What was the one thing with him that you go? Sheesh.
I want to say his ability to stay in front of somebody. I thought, like everybody, I have good legs, right? I'll stay in front of you. Wesley Matthews has great legs. He'll stay in front of you. You can't go by him. But Drew was just different, man. Jay Crowder, you know what I'm saying? And like Pat Bev. But like Drew Holiday was just like, had so much like to give on defense and so much like to give you in front. And then on offense, was a killer. And you don't see a lot of guys like that because a lot of guys who were good defenders on offense were not as fluent as some other guys,
correct.
Right?
Yeah.
So when you see something like that, even Kawhi is a great two-way player. But on offense, he doesn't move as fluent as as fluent as Steph Curry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As fluent as he's like, he's kind of robotic. He's like same thing. When I saw that and then I was seeing Drew Holiday hit the shots, hit people with the left, everything. I was like, oh man, this is type of like LeBron type of body, like this.
Crazy.
Yeah. And then that's one. The second guy.
While you're thinking of that, the inside of this
It's crazy.
hottest chocolate challenge. So it just says, can you handle this deadly challenge?
I promise you.
Made from Carolina Reaper pepper.
Oh, no,
and then what to expect.
Nah,
Short-term loss of speech.
I'll tell you,
Mouth
bro.
on fire. Impaired
don't try that.
vision.
Believe what the rapper
Extreme
says.
profanity.
Punch, don't try that, bro. We straight. Don't try. Do not try
told
that.
y'all.
Look at this stuff.
I had this before.
You sure? You
Of
know
course not. I'm not. I believe it. When I
This
first didn't
would be
believe,
like that moment. You guys have seen the Hot Wings show where they
Yes.
do. This would be that. This could be our moment.
No,
Just
it's
saying.
not gonna be on moment because we're not gonna.
You're the one who has to fly later today, so that's on you if you want to try this.
this is good. Sour Patch Blue Raspberry.
Sour Patch. All right, next guest.
I'm gonna go with the Greek one.
Next guest. We're gonna go.
Bueno.
That's Greek candy.
No, I mean, it's not.
no.
I don't think it's Greek.
Because they got Matt. You know what candies they have a lot? It's like Chinese candy. It's in like regular stores now, or everywhere in New York now.
Which one? What's it called?
I think it's some chew, high chew or something like that.
Haichu, yeah, the small one, yeah,
That's not from here.
No, I don't think
It's
so.
fire.
Probably on the website candyfunhouse.com. They get them from all over the world.
Can I get a coupon code? I want a coupon code. I want to do something. Let's do some cool stuff, man.
Nah, we get your sponsorship. What are you talking about coupon
Ooh.
code, bro?
That's genius. This is why TA's a genius. He's a genius.
Oh man, another. I don't like the end of the podcast, but another end of the podcast. Thank you so much, Punch, for coming in. Thank you so
I
much.
love it. I can't wait to come back and argue more basketball with TA.
Yes. And I do love, bro, just your mentality, the way you approach things. I think like you should be getting way more credit for what you do. But we'll talk about the resume. We'll talk about that another time. But first of all, thank you, Tony, for having us. Thank you for the production, everybody. Want to thank our sponsors, Thanalysis Show, presented by Gruber offices. One call.
That's all.
That's all. Want to thank Potawatomi Casinos and Hotels. You guys have been amazing. You've been with us from the beginning of the show and too many more years to come. I want to thank Prisoner Wine Company. If you don't have a bottle yet, please go get a bottle. They're great. They're amazing partners, but they got great wine. And last but not least, da-da-da-da-da. I'm loving it. Go get your Happy Meals. Go get your new. We have Minecraft actually that just came out. They have a great meal. Enjoy. Thanalysis out.